What do you mean, are we off?
We look off-center. Are we
We're not
off-center?
off-center. Can scooch over a little bit. How's that? That's better. I scooched over, so I'm good.
All right, so
You're crooked. That's what it is.
I'm crooked?
Yep. There you go. See, that's better.
Am I better?
This is crooked. Something's crooked.
What's going on?
We're fine.
We don't seem to have a lot of crap on the counter today.
And the camera's pointed up too high.
All right. Well, hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday.
It is Tuesday.
It's Taco Tuesday.
It was Taco Tuesday. We went to our favorite taco establishment.
Do you guys have Tijuana Flats by you? We have Tijuana Flats
Where
by
we
us.
go every Tuesday. They know me by name.
It's like, but I got a salad, but it still counts as Taco Tuesday.
I got tacos.
He's like, yeah, he's jumped the gun. So
tacos are good.
So sorry.
There's no calories in tacos. Whoever tells you there are, they're wrong.
He's a liar. So
she just called me a liar.
I did.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, so before we get started, as usual,
awesome.
please share this video with your friends
get that camera down.
So we can share the silliness. What?
The camera's bothering me.
The camera's bothering you?
Yes, just a little bit.
Okay, maybe not.
It's fine right here.
Are we good?
Is that better?
I don't know.
Look on my computer. My computer's working.
I'm fine. You guys don't care, do you? You guys care?
Thank you.
It's just we're still kind of like not only adjusting to this whole daylight savings time thing, but we drove for what, 11 hours?
11 and well, yeah, because there was an hour time change, so it made 11 and a half hours.
Yeah. So yeah, when we drove to Alabama this weekend, that there was a time change there, and plus the other time change. So
yeah, we left here Friday in one time zone, got to Alabama in another time zone. Saturday, the time zone went back to what we were used to in Florida, but Florida also jumped an hour ahead. So when we got back here, it was hour late. I don't know what time it is.
It was so confusing.
What day is it?
I don't know. I kept thinking it was Monday, and then I don't know what time it is. And then I think we've just had such a whirlwind weekend that it just I don't know. Well, we'll get to that.
We got lots to get to, so shall we get started?
Let's
because we don't want to go more than an hour. We're
tired, and I know you guys are getting adjusted to the change as well.
So we're gonna get here in about an hour.
We're gonna try to be done by 8 because I know you got shows to watch.
Okay, ready?
Hi,
Hi, welcome to TMSM Weekly Live, show number 44 from March 12th, 2019. I am Scott A.
I am Michelle Atwood.
And like Michelle was starting to go through, we've had a busy week. So last week, we were on Monday. Actually, Cindy Simmons was on Monday.
Yes, Cindy Simmons was our guest last week. And we thank her. And she was nice enough to give us a gift card to give to you guys. So at the end of the show, we're going to tell you who wins $25 gift card.
So you better stay tuned.
Yeah, so it's kind of like we're bribing you to watch the whole show.
$25 could be one of you. Might not be.
Might be one of you. Or it might have been somebody who's not watching this week.
Could be somebody new next week. Who knows?
Okay, so anywho.
So last Wednesday, Epcot kicked off the 2019 International Flower and Garden Festival.
Yes. Are we still? What's wrong with my Wi-Fi? I can't see. Hold on. Go ahead. Start talking.
Yeah, we're still live. I think nobody said anything.
Nobody said we're frozen.
We're good.
Are we frozen?
Frozen.
Let's hope not.
I wish I had echo sound effect because that would sound pretty cool right about there.
See.
Are you good now?
I don't know. Okay, go Scott.
Okay, so we went to Epcot. It was a madhouse. I mean, that's to say politely. We had the radio station in the morning. Michelle had to record her radio spot. We left there, said, let's go eat breakfast before we get to the park. So we went and had breakfast, drove right to Epcot. The line was past World Drive.
You know what? I will say this. I know I said it on the live feeds from Epcot last week if you watched, but we always go to opening day of festivals, always, and it's always in the week, whether it's a Wednesday or a Thursday. So when we got closer to Disney property, World Drive was like the line to get just in the turnstiles to check in at the parking lot, show your band or whatever to pay for parking. It was all the way back to World Drive, like closer to like where you turn. And
it was solid. Every turnstile was packed all the way back. It was insane. And then once you got through that, it was more lines to get in the parking lot. So they started, as we were standing there, we were getting ready to pull down the main, they were sending people down to the farther lots where the Run Disney things happen. So,
and it was like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, just before 10. So by the time we got parked, we got to the front of the park. We walk up there, security, they had 3 security sections open. They had the 2 normal ones, and then they had another one far off to the left of another security, and the lines were just enormous. So before as we were getting out of the car, I told her, do not take your purse, whatever you need, put it in your pockets. If you can't hold it, put it in my pockets. We got to go, and we're not going to wait for security. So she did that.
Because we'd have never made it.
Never would have made it
through, because security went. And I know security does what they do to keep us safe and all. But I think the overwhelming amount of people was just, it was just crazy. So yeah, I left half my stuff in the car so we could get in the park quicker.
Mm-hmm. And then we had to go through and scan our badges to even get in at that point.
Yeah, it was insane,
Crazy.
You guys. I mean, honest to God, I've never seen it like that on opening day. It was almost like they were giving free stuff away or something.
They were giving away free new annual pass holder magnets.
Okay, but that is not enough to create mass hysteria in the front of the park.
I don't know. If it was Figment, it probably would have.
I don't know.
But anyway, so we got in the park, and that was just a whole nother. I didn't know where to go. It was so crazy.
You know, we had it was Wednesday, and it's early release day for the kids, so we had even less time. So we kind of had to like plow through, kind of in and out of people.
Get out of our way!
Get out of our way! There's stuff to do. You know, I wanted to go get the merchandise. I wanted to get as many food booths as I could. So we went to Mouse Gear first
because World Showcase was not open yet, so we
it
decided to hit Mouse Gear as we were going.
And the people to try to get footage of merchandise or even see the merchandise, I could not believe how many people on opening day. Usually opening weekend is the mess.
And usually not at Flower and Garden so much as Food and Wine. Food and Wine is always like that, but Flower and Garden's usually on Wednesdays a little bit less.
So Billy Boatman said maybe everybody wanted the Orange Bird Sipper. Now that could be true. We're going to talk about that.
We'll get to there in a few minutes. That's crazy too.
But the festival this year, the merchandise is great. The topiaries, some of them have moved into different spots.
They are. When you walk in, normally it's a Mickey, Minnie, or some play on the Fab Five. It's not this year. It's the butterflies.
So the butterfly topiaries that are usually in the middle of the park are actually greeting you at the front of the park.
Yes.
And then I had asked, because I overthink things, shocker, was the Junies this year are butterflies. So then I'm thinking, okay, are they going with a butterfly theme? So they have butterflies in the front of the park, butterflies on the Dooney.
Butterfly tent.
Butterfly tent. So am I sensing a theme?
They need butterfly chips.
Maybe. Ooh, butterfly chips.
Those are good.
You're supposed to be on a diet.
No, you're I'm not on no diet. I'm content and happy with where I am.
Okay. So anyway, it was a big old mess, but the park itself was beautiful. Somebody had asked me a question earlier on Instagram about usually Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs are always in the same spot. Yeah. She moved this year. She's kind of in the back against the wall in Germany.
And only right where that bathroom area is. There's the bathroom, and then there's the Germany.
And she's only with Dopey this year. Where's
and it's a different Dopey, isn't it?
It looked like a different Dopey.
So the other 6 are kind of missing.
I don't know. And just things were different.
Lady and the Tramp are moved.
Lady and the Tramp were moved. Do you know, when you're in Italy and you're looking down towards the gondolas, there's down those steps?
There's one gondola there empty, and it's between, the little walk path.
You have to look down to see Lady and the Tramp, which I thought was odd.
And it's a great picture. I mean,
it's
really,
a beautiful picture, if you would miss it. Because I said, where are they? They're not in their usual spots. And I could see the tops of their heads. Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, look, they're down there.
Right. I posted it on my Instagram the other day, so if you haven't seen it, go check out TMSM Avengers Instagram.
Yeah, it was very a very odd spot for them, but it makes a nice picture, but you have to look down.
I agree with Faith. Diet is a 4-letter bad word. And what's the first 3 letters of diet? Die. What are you going to do if you diet? Die.
Or you could die if you don't take care of yourself. There's that, too. Yes, I shamed him in public. Yes. So anyway, so with that being moved, but the other things are in their usual spot, Anna and Elsa are back in by the meet and greet in Norway.
Yes. A big Goofy was in the center island.
There's a big Goofy.
And Pluto and Goofy are in that center area.
Yeah.
And then Mickey and Minnie Hurt.
Kermit and Miss Piggy are over by France now.
Yes, they are. They are.
And Belle and the Beast are still in their
Which
spot.
is where Cinderella and Prince Charming used to be near the clock. Now it's where Kermit and Miss Piggy are.
Yeah. It's weird. But I guess they gotta mix it up. I mean, and I
don't... Oh, Kermit.
Disney people are creatures of habit. Yes, we are. But yeah, there's some different things.
There was, and we didn't get to see them all because, like she said, we had a limited
to
amount of
hurry.
time, and there was a ton of people.
We had to
So
hurry.
we didn't get to go see who was the new one this year?
There was Bo Peep.
Bo Peep, and that is over by the test track area. If you know, Buzz Lightyear is usually over by Mission Space, and that's somewhere around there is where Bo Peep and the sheep are.
Yeah, somewhere around there. So
we
yeah,
didn't get to see that.
But we're gonna go back.
And we didn't see if Sorcerer Mickey was anywhere. I don't know if he was or not.
Was Sorcerer Mickey anywhere?
Usually he's over by.
Oh my God's sake!
Jack's here. Jack.
Are we expecting delivery?
Not that I know of. Come here. Come here. We must be, and nobody's around here to pull him out of the way. So, Jack. Hey, Jack. Come here.
Jack. Andrew.
We're starting a new Instagram for Jack, by the way. TMSM Jack.
Seriously. Okay, so you old people that have been watching for almost a year now expect this. But new people, that's Jack. He's our English French bulldog mix who has no manners and charges at the door.
He's not
for
too
no
bright.
reason. Sorry.
Okay.
No. Okay. Sorry. Anyway.
It's always something, isn't
Everyone's like, "Hi, Jack. Hi, Jack."
it? Hi, Jack. Jack, the aunties love you.
So okay. Anyway, where were you? Jack threw my train.
I know he threw my whole train off. So anyway, we're walking around checking out the topiaries. We did not get to try any of the food. The booths were so long.
Oh yeah. You know how you guys in Food and Wine or like on the weekend in the festival, how there's the winding lines for food. Opening morning had winding lines for food, and he was bumming because again he's off his diet, so he wanted to try foods. I didn't want the food; he wanted the food.
There was two I wanted in the American Pavilion or American Open Kitchen, if you want to say it that way. They do a pulled pork with pork belly and pickle and all this stuff sandwich slider, which is fantastic. And then in Germany, there is a pretzel with Gruyere and ham melted on it, which is also fantastic. Both those lines were probably 25, 30 people in line.
There were. And speaking of lines, let's talk about lines for a second. So when I was doing a live feed in the middle of, right where you split to go to World Showcase. And so I looked to the right and there's this huge line. And I'm like, what are they waiting for? What?
Jack popcorn buckets.
Jack popcorn buckets, you're right, Shane.
Sorry, we met Shane there.
We did meet Shane.
Hi,
Shane.
And the son?
Yes.
And we saw his wife, but she was going to get
frushi. So what the hype was about was these little guys, these orange bird zippers. And I, fortunately, was able to get my hands on one of these at the media preview.
Because we were not waiting in that line.
Because
we didn't have time.
no way we were going to wait in line. It was like a 45-minute wait in line to get one of these guys.
Well, we saw a couple Main Streeters.
We saw people in line that we knew as we were walking by.
We saw Melissa Link.
We did.
And then Chris Spokesman was there filming live, and he pulled us on his live feed for a moment.
He did. So Chris and I were live feeding each other. He had us on YouTube. We had him on Facebook, and we kind of had that going for a minute. So the draw for these sippers was huge. And before we went live, our staff member Janelle had said that she's hearing a buzz that they are sold out.
Which I predicted on opening day.
We thought they were going to sell on opening day. And now Chris had said he asked a cast member that was working the booth if they had plenty to go around, and they said at that point they did. So I don't know.
And just so you know, this little thing is $14 filled with the orange creamsicle.
Yeah, it's like an orange creamsicle slush. If you like orange creamsicles, you may like that.
I do, but I'm on a diet, so I can't.
You're on a diet.
You're right. I'm gonna go get one.
He's not on a diet anymore.
I'm gonna go get an orange creamsicle slush.
So anyway. So that's what the big line was for. I mean, there was a ton of lines, but the line for that thing was like outrageous.
I mean, it was to the point of where the kind of the opening to World Showcase is. It was all the way past the store and everything, almost in the middle. And we're like, could that really be for the orange?
I really thought it was for pins or something.
Yeah.
Because opening day is all about the merchandise, and people want to get
merchandise.
They want to get their hands on the merchandise that they're you see the previews for stuff. Or if it's annual pass holder stuff, or if it's pins, collectibles, stuff like that. No, it was the orange bird zipper.
Danielle said they had them yesterday, so.
Oh, I mean, this was just this evening, word was going around that they were out.
Who knows?
Don't quote me because I don't know that for sure, but that's the word on the street.
That's right. So do you want to show them some of the merchandise though that they did?
Would you like to see some merchandise? Now I bought a couple of things, but I got to go back because we didn't have enough time.
More money. We had to come home with money. Because she walked in there and goes, "Oh my gosh, I want it all."
So okay, here we go. So this is this not the cutest thing? I mean, really, look at it. It just makes me smile. And I don't. He's like, "Do you?"
So does Jack. If Jack was like that, yeah.
Now, if I could get a Jack flower pot mug, that would be even better. So this is a flower pot mug. It says "Happiness blooms from within."
Aww.
And then on this
that was
side,
not planned.
Aww. And then on this side, it has Minnie on it. Now this is adorable, you guys.
Can't really see it though.
He's like, do you need another mug?
Because she has no room for them already.
So
we'll try to get that a little closer so you can see it.
I'll use it for decoration.
And then we'll go this way so you can see Minnie. Hopefully I don't drop it.
And please don't drop that mug.
Don't drop that
mug.
Because it makes her smile.
It makes me happy. Isn't it cute?
They had plenty of those. It's these they're
Actually, when we were there, I have to go back and assess the situation again. But these little guys were flying off the handle.
Flying off the handle pop.
Flying off the shelves that morning. That's why I grabbed one because, for that whole fear of missing out.
It's funny as we're walking in, she goes, "I don't think there's anything I really want." And then I run into her in the store and she's got like 5 things in her arm. She goes, "There was really nothing."
I got caught up in the moment.
Threw you under the bus like you threw me.
I got caught up in the moment. But I was buying merchandise, not food.
Food is better.
All right. And for those who are asking about the annual pass holder magnets, that's what they look like.
And there's another one that'll be out in a few weeks.
You can actually get these at Mouse Gears. There's like kind of free walking cast members.
And there was someplace in World Showcase also, I thought they said.
There was.
There was 2 spots. I want to say the other one was in World Showcase at the entrance to World Showcase. Somewhere around where the line was for the orange bird.
So I don't remember exactly where the other place was, but that's the magnet. Okay, so as I told you before, they do have this line, this merchandise line, in addition to the regular cutesy flower and garden stuff like this mug that's really cute. They have the stuff for the violet lemonade. I always want to say lavender lemonade because it sounds better, but it's violet lemonade, and it's lavender color, so.
Kind of works.
If I ever say lavender lemonade, you know what I mean. It's violet lemonade. So
we're doing a petition to change the name officially.
Oh my gosh, this has been in the bag since there, so it's a wrinkled hot mess. But you can see that they have.
Yeah, she didn't have time to unpack this until today.
Yeah, I did not even have time. We've been gone.
Oh, so it looks flatter.
It is so wrinkled, but they have like a tank top. Super cute.
That don't look bad on TV though.
No, it's really wrinkled. They have. I really didn't need all these. He went back and got me this because I was...
She was hemming and hawing, and if it sold out, then she would have been, "I should have bought it." And I would have heard about her till the end of the festival. So she had to have put a little zest in your fist. And then the other side, if you want to turn around, got the little icon of the festival, which is the violet lemonade. Is that what it's called?
It's violet lemonade.
Violet lemonade. And then what's the last thing you got?
I have the ears that go with those.
Which interesting thing happened? The price went up.
The price is up for just these.
Just those.
Just these.
It was $29.99
instead of $27.99.
I know. It was kind of weird.
And not to be critical or anything, but
they're small.
They're small, and I could have made these.
You could not have put something on the side.
Okay, so they do have an engraving on the side. I'll give them that. But like this, and just like flowers, I could have gone to Dollar Tree and got me some flowers. But
because you've got little lemons?
Lemon stickers. Maybe
Actually, they do kind of look like the lemon stickers you bought before. That's crazy.
Okay, so yeah, that's...
But yeah, those are $29.99. They were going fast, but I kept watching them restock them, so they kept putting more and more in there. So I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Yes. So that is the merchandise. Oh, and they have this too.
Right.
Which I showed you guys last week. It's a little sippy cup.
And they had a bigger one, not exactly like that, but similar type of cup.
Yeah, this is really, really cute though.
They have lots of good stuff.
So that's merchandise for Flower Garden.
So what's next?
Captain Marvel.
You just told everybody. Sorry. So Thursday, we had the big movie event that was coming up last weekend was Captain Marvel, and we had heard lots of disgruntled people online after seeing the media previews where they just did not like the film. And we had Thursday tickets for the fan event, which started at 6 o'clock, where the movie was actually going to be released at 7 in a lot of theaters around the U.S. So we were actually there an hour before everything. And Michelle went with me. Usually she doesn't go to any of the fan events. This is one she chose to go to with me. And your opinion of the movie quickly?
Okay, so I don't want to spoil it. Did you guys see Captain Marvel this weekend?
Kevin saw it today.
Okay, so there's so much back and forth as far as the reviews. I mean, it's like shattered the box office.
455 million, I think it did, opening weekend. Well, that's worldwide, of course, but still,
it did great.
Yep.
However, if you looked at the reviews, you would have thought either it's the best movie ever, or the worst movie ever, or some people, I guess Marvel people like to rate it like on a scale of like the best to worst Marvel movies, and a lot of them had it down there on the list, like with Iron Man 2. And so I was like really
and Thor: Dark World.
And Thor, but Thor has Loki. Anyway, so I was very okay. Let's be honest. We're honest, aren't we? We've been doing this show almost a year already, and you know that we shoot straight. So here comes.
I'll let her give her opinion, then I'll give you mine.
Here it comes. So you know me long enough. We've been doing Mainstream House since 2010. That I'm all about girl power. I think girl power is awesome. I think women should have recognition. Women should be superheroes. Women should be bosses and in charge. All that stuff. However, when I was going to see this movie, I was like, okay, I'm going to be honest. I don't really care for the actress that plays her. I didn't care for her when it came in.
Somebody said we froze.
Did we freeze?
I don't know. It's working okay. It says you're okay now. Okay, it must be back. Okay.
Oh, are we back
They said
now?
it's okay now.
Okay. So I don't really care for the actress. I've only seen her in the Kong movie. I didn't really care for her in that movie, so I guess I prejudged. Also, I had read some reviews that said that it missed the mark, that it set girl power back, that it didn't represent what it could have, should have, that it was cheesy, that it was all these things. So I went to see this movie like, I just was not expecting to like it, if I'm being honest. So I went into it with that notion. However, by the end of the movie, I was like, I like this. And because I told him, what did I tell you? I said, it's going to have to be a really good movie to make me like Brie Larson. Is that her name? To actually make me like her, because I don't. And not that I don't know her or anything, I just don't like her. God, that sounds so catty. I don't mean it catty. I just didn't like her in the other movie I had seen her in.
Which was only one movie.
Still, but I didn't. Maybe because, I don't know.
Now you've seen her in 2 movies and 50% of them you're okay with.
So now we're 50-50. We're 50-50. I guess I just didn't understand the casting. Can we say it like that? Like, you know, sometimes somebody is cast in a role and you have an idea in your head, like, who maybe should have been that role, and then it's not. I mean, I don't want to use the example I had in my head because that would be inappropriate. But
I know which one she's thinking of. Yeah, don't say that.
You know what I'm thinking about?
I know exactly what you're thinking. Keep going.
Okay. So
move along.
I just think that you have an idea in your head of who you think is the part. So I wasn't sold. I can't really say I didn't like her. I wasn't sold. So the movie itself, though, I think that by the end of it, I was confused in the beginning. It pulled everything together. You don't even have to fully understand the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like, and all these things, because I go to these movies with him, and I am so confused. Like, who's that? What's that mean? What's this? That? I was afraid that that's how it was going to be for this, but it wasn't. The movie's set in the 90s, so it kind of gives you some backstory to some of the what's going on now. Right. And then it kind of sets you up for things that you're going to need to understand when you see the next Avengers film.
Right.
Am I right?
Yes.
Am I right? Am I passing?
Yeah. I'm just waiting for you to let me go off.
Oh, no, not yet.
Well, you're thinking, go.
Okay, so my humble opinion, I didn't think I would like it. I liked it. I liked it so much that I bought a Captain Marvel shirt at the Huntsville convention this weekend.
We'll get to that in a little bit.
Yes. I think that it does represent girl power. I do think that it shows a woman can, kick butt just as much as a man, if not more so, because she really did throw some boys around in this movie. And I think it was long overdue because, girls need that stuff too. Does that make sense?
That does.
And she kicked more butt than, say, like Black Widow or Scarlet Witch. I really, she redeemed herself with being, I am going to buy as much Captain Marvel merchandise as I'm allowed to buy. I think it's great.
She's allowed. I'm never going to stop her from buying Marvel stuff.
And I think it's wonderful, and I think it sends a great message that women overcome, and women can kick your butt just as much as the boy can, and I highly recommend it, but you got to stay for the end, and the credits afterwards. Like, you got to stay for the credits.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so going into it, everybody knows I am a Marvel fanatic, whatever you want to call it. What some people need to remember, and a lot of the reviews I read are from people who really aren't into the Marvel universe as much as some are. I've read reviews who are people just like me who are like on the fence, but some people who've told me, I'm not really a big Marvel fan, I haven't seen all the movies, but then they gave it thumbs down. How can you do that? You got to remember, the Marvel universe first is, and I know this is a shocker, is fake. None of it exists. So it is cheesy. There is no guy that turns into a 9-foot green giant and beats the crap out of people. There is no god of thunder who comes from another planet to slam his hammer down on people. Or god of mischief. These people don't exist. So you have to watch the movie going in that it is a cartoonish comic type movie. Having said that, I did enjoy the movie. They had to bring everything together, things that you've seen from Captain America, the First Avenger, to Infinity War, and they had to squeeze this in the middle to tell the story of this character who's going to kick some butt in Endgame, and Thanos better be watching out because she's going to destroy him. But they had to fit all the storylines, so they wanted to get the story in there to talk about Coulson. They wanted to talk about Nick Fury. They wanted to talk about the Skrulls. They wanted to talk about all these different things, and they had to bring it all together, and they had to squeeze it in about 2.5 hours. And that's why the movie, a lot of people, I think, don't like it. Some of the stuff I read where I was watching to see if it happened on the reviews, and the reviews I read were wrong. The way they said it, that things happen in the movie, it's not really how it happens, how they interpreted it, but that's really not what happened at all. So some people, my best advice, don't read reviews. Go to the movie. If you want to see the movie, sit there and enjoy it for what it is. Don't try to think of it as more than just a superhero movie. Brie Larson, I thought, did really well as the character. As far as I'm concerned, Marvel has not made one casting mistake yet in all of the things, except for Ed Norton Jr. He should never been cast as Hulk. He sucked, and that's my word. If he wants to come here and complain about it, he can bring it.
Man.
And what?
Harsh.
And Terrence Howard, he's got to be kicking himself in the butt too because War Machine lived through the snap. Just saying. Anyway, so my opinion, I thought the movie was good. Is it my top 10 movies? No. Is it better than about 7 of them? I'd say yes. I liked it better than the Ant-Man movie. I liked it better than Thor Dark World. I liked it better than, of course, Iron Man 2, because nobody, I think, liked Iron Man 2. It's up there. I'd put it in the same range as I put maybe Doctor Strange and those films. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. If anybody doesn't like what I say, it's my opinion. So, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to mine.
And he was worried about taking me to the show because I am so, I'm skeptical and a bit snarky when it comes to these things. I know you're shocked. I'm sure you're very shocked. So he was like, you don't have to go if you don't want to, because we read some reviews that stunk. And
I don't know. I was willing to eat the money I'd already spent.
I know.
And Corey, I didn't like Ant-Man, the first one. I liked the humor of Paul Rudd. I didn't like the movie itself. So.
I liked Ant-Man because I thought it was funny. I liked Ant-Man because I like Paul Rudd. I liked Ant-Man because there was the guy that tells the stories.
I like Ant-Man and Wasp much better than Ant-Man.
I like the characters in those movies.
I think Ant-Man should have not been Scott. I think it should have been based on Hank Pym, and that's the way it should have been.
Well, but regardless, okay, if you are like me and don't know everything in the world about Marvel, but you want to give this a shot, I say please do that, and I think that you will be
He's asleep. Jack's sleeping if you can't hear the snoring.
That noise is Jack snoring. So you got to hear him bark, and now he's snoring. Anyway.
And the other thing I was going to say, too, remember the movie is set in the 90s. Well, the 90s was pretty cheesy.
The 90s was.
So in order to kind of go with that, the music, they play 90s music.
She wears clothes that I wore in high school, which was weird.
She wears a Nine Inch Nails
t-shirt, shirt, which I had that CD.
And then she had a flannel tied around her waist at one point.
She did, and they played Nirvana music in one of the things, which I
think from a timing standpoint, that song wasn't out yet, but that's another story.
Yeah, it was.
At that time when the movie was, I don't think it was, because I've read a few things that people said that the timing, that song came out after that next year or whatever.
That's not true. What year was the movie?
It's supposed to be set in 95.
Oh, yeah, because Nirvana was out in 92, 91.
Maybe it was. I don't know. Some people were saying that song came out. That song actually came out after.
Not true. Not
okay.
true.
So
There's one thing I know about his music.
She just dispelled that rumor.
Right. You know what? It's a sidebar, because we were talking about this in the car when we were driving 11 hours to Huntsville, Alabama.
It was worth it, but it was tiring.
That, like, everybody has their thing in life that they're good at and that they know. And what's mine?
Music from every genre and every year there is.
Useless music trivia.
She is the Cliffy Clavin of music. She could tell you who the banjo player was on a song from 1964 without a problem.
Maybe not. But I can pull, like, names out of the air. It's like, how do I do that? But yeah, so.
I like how she landed in the blockbuster also. And did you notice the movie she picked up was The Right Stuff?
Yes.
Now, one thing I did not touch on, and I wasn't going to, but I feel I have to, that at the beginning of the movie, Marvel paid...
Thank you.
What do you say?
Corey backed me on it.
Okay.
Told you.
You're not telling me. I was just going by what somebody said.
You.
Can I go to my serious point now?
Oh, go ahead.
They paid a great homage to Stan Lee at the beginning of the movie. If you've ever watched a Marvel movie, you know the beginning intro where the Marvel logo is appearing and they keep showing clips of different Marvel characters and such. Mm-hmm. I don't think I'm spoiling it because I know this has been all over the internet, but that's been turned into cameos of Stan Lee on that whole thing. And it was wonderful to see that. The entire theater started to applaud as that happened. And Stan does have a cameo in this movie. I won't tell you what it was about. It does pay homage to another person that I'm a big fan of and who also was a huge fan of Stan's, and actually had Stan in one of his movies. So if you can figure it out from that. It was great to see Stan in that, and I know he's already recorded the cameo that will also be in Endgame, so that will be there too. So I know there will become a day where we will no longer have Stan Lee cameos in Marvel films, and that will be a very sad day, but at least for now we do have this.
We do. So our review is, we liked Captain Marvel. Let's say, is that good enough? Yes. We liked it. Give it a try. If I can like it, you can like it, I believe. So.
And obviously it did pretty well. I mean, almost $500 million on the opening weekend is pretty good for any movie, especially a Marvel movie that did really well. If this did that, though, I can only imagine what Endgame is going to do in about 6 weeks.
Yeah, and you know what? Now I'm excited to see what happens in Endgame. It just added another facet to the movie. So.
And please make sure I know there was rumors floating around there was no end credits. There is a mid-credit scene and an end credit scene, so make sure you stick through to both of them. And Goose the cat is the coolest animal in the entire universe.
And he looks like our old cat that passed away when we moved here. It looked like Pumpkin. So
yes, Goose is awesome. So I give it 2 thumbs.
Yes, and it blows me away. I mean, I know this, so like you think most people know this. When you see some people getting up before the credits are done in a Marvel movie.
At a fan event.
Lord.
These are the people who know.
Like, just because the movie is over, do not get up. It's not over.
Or don't start talking to your friends or turning on your phone, calling your girlfriend. Yes. I don't want to hear your conversation.
No, wait for it. And, it's like one of those things because, like, you just figure Marvel people should know.
They should, but I shake my head every time.
No, stay. There's 2. Stay for them.
Yep.
Okay. So all right. So
when the lights come up, then you leave.
Yeah. when the employees come in and start sweeping the floor, then go. When they come in with the garbage.
If they're standing there with the garbage can ready to clean up popcorn, then you can go. Go ahead and go.
Okay. So and then since we talked last week, opening dates of Galaxy's Edge came out, which was
Thursday.
A big deal. Now we were told, we've been told the whole time since the announcements at D23 in 2017 that ours would not be open here until the end of 2019. Mm-hmm. Disneyland early fall, late summer 2019.
Yeah, they did not want to have them simultaneously open. They were going to make it 2 big opening events. So.
And that is not true. So in case you missed it, Disneyland's Galaxy's Edge is open May 31st. Disney World, August 29th. Now, I believe that some of these are being opened in like phases. It might not be the whole shebang when you go see it. It might be part of it. I don't know.
All I know is that we'll be in D23 the week before it opens here.
Yes.
So we will actually see the one in Disneyland before we see the one here.
Which they're supposed to be almost identical, from what I heard. So, I really... It's going to be nuts. It is going to be nuts. Did you guys see all the jokes and stuff going around?
Shane wants to compete with you in music knowledge.
You bring it.
Shane, you can come sit right here and we'll do TMSM Jeopardy music.
I scare myself sometimes with the stuff I know, thanks to my dad, I believe. I think it's my dad. We've talked about that before. But anyway, so expect ridiculous crowds. People started wanting to change their vacations around this. Some people wanted to change when the dates came out last week, wanted to change their vacations to go at that time. And then some people were bummed that they don't want to be here at that time. Like they purposely were going at the end of the summer so they would miss the Galaxies Edge crowd.
But as of what date is open here, August 29th?
Yeah.
You can get a fast pass for Slinky Dog or Seven Dwarfs, no problem that day.
You're going to be able, you want to get a Mine Train Fast Pass, you're probably going to be able to get on it. I mean, all the stuff that you normally can't get, you'll probably be able to get. And I'm sure it's going to be great, but I know it's going to be a big old mess. I mean, if the opening of Flower and Garden this year was that big of a mess, can you imagine?
One way to compare it.
Can you imagine what it's going to be like with Galaxy's Edge?
Well, hopefully Michelle will be invited to the media preview. We have no reason to think she wouldn't be, but hopefully she will be there and be able to show it to everybody when it does happen.
I hope. And we had some questions that people wanted to know if we know any scoop on early previews, pass holder events.
I do know this. Yesterday we drove past the Welcome to Florida sign and there was no line there.
There was no line yet when we were driving back to Florida, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, there's no cast member saying line starts here, so it's a plus.
No. Yeah, we should probably start getting in line now. It's so funny because you know people are going to just how Black Friday sales when people pop, pitch a tent outside of Best Buy trying to get a TV 3 days before for that. Yeah, can you imagine what it's going to be like for this? I mean, if you compare all these things, I honestly think that you're going to have to bring your patience with you when you go. I'm sure it's going to be magical. All I know is the Magic Kingdom's going to be easy to get anything you want. I'm going to Magic Kingdom. So you guys go ahead and go studios. I'm not that excited, so I will be at Magic Kingdom. And no, I don't really know anything specific about Galaxy's Edge yet, but as soon as I know, I will let you know. There's supposed to be 3 rides back there. Was it 3 or 5? 3. 3. Okay, so. But then there's going to be restaurant, and there's also going to be a food place or like a market where you can go shopping and buy the unique stuff they're going to have. More and more is going to come out about it as it gets closer. So if you guys stay to the Mainstream House, we will keep you updated. I'm sure a lot of answers will come out once Disneyland's opened. Yeah. Because it's easy for them to say this is going to be there, this is going to be there. But once Disneyland opens and that news is going to leak out quick of what they have. Unfortunately, even if we got invited to Disneyland's, we can't because that is the weekend Andrew graduates. Yeah, we have the weekend before it opens, our older one graduates from high school, believe it or not. So we'd have to leave next day or whatever. Yeah, I don't know how we would swing that. We'll take that as it comes. But anyway, so anyhow, so that's that. So let's recap a little bit about what we did this weekend. Where were we? Huntsville, Alabama. What was the con called? Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo. That's why I had her say, because I cannot remember all that. Yeah, I think so. So this is a con that we were told about when we were at Magic City Con. Our friend Jamie and Rita, who run that one in Birmingham, and Jamie is actually a longtime Main Streeter. She invites us to go every year. Well, last year we got to meet Jeremy, who actually had a booth there, sells comics and pops and things like that, and he invited us to come to his con, which was the one. This was his 4th year. His con has grown by leaps and bounds. His first year he had it in the hall of the JCs where they hold their meetings. This was actually at this big convention center. 80,000 square foot convention space, and it was full. And it was great. It was a lot of merchandise for people who like to do the shopping, which was great. A lot of comic stands. A lot of comic. There was about 30 guests he had there. He had pro wrestlers. He had, if you're Dragon Ball Z, he had one of the top voices, or two of the top voices from there that had a line that wrapped around half the building. They had a bunch of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, some of the original ones, which is still really, I didn't realize how big that still is, but it really was. He had some voice actor, Jim Cummings, who does a lot of the Disney voices, was there, Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Darkwing Duck, and others. He's actually doing one of the voices in Star Wars also. They also had Lou Ferrigno. They had a couple wrestlers, Jake the Snake Roberts and Hacksaw Jim Duggan, which we were right down the way from, so we kept hearing Hacksaw do his, or whatever, however he does it.
Can't remember now.
People
I heard it all weekend, but
people
can't
were
think of it now.
actually bringing in like pieces of wood for him to sign.
Yes,
like,
he was signing a lot of 2x4s, about 18-inch piece of 2x4. He kept signing them, which was kind of cool. And so it was great to walk around. We got to see our friend Brian, who was there with his booth, Brian Silverback. We met a new friend, Amos, who was with Brian.
And we're on one of his podcasts.
We're going to be on one of his podcasts. So when that drops, I don't know if it has. I haven't checked today or not.
No, it didn't. He said he's going to message us when
Okay, once that drops, we'll put it out there. It's about a half an hour, 40 minutes long. So if you guys will take a listen to that. Us rambling. You'll like it a lot. We kind of went on without any preparation. We just kind of went into that. Jeremy did a great job, though. I mean, he put this con on just because he loves the comic and the fandom of it all. And so he decided to create his own con. He thought there was a need for it in his city, and he went for it 4 years ago, and it just gets bigger and bigger every year. And I'm truly honored he invited us to go, but I'm so happy for him. Just the smile on his face as he's walking around there, and he is running around there. I shouldn't even say walking. He is like running around the whole time. Success.
You know, we always love to see the good people come out ahead, and he really did a great job. And we told him we'll come back and do it again next year.
And their hope is the room we were in, there's a wall that comes down and releases another 40,000 square foot. And he's hoping that he'll need to move to that because every year he's just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's not even his full-time job. He has a full-time 9-to-5 job. He does. This is his hobby. And he's hoping one day it does become it. So it was great. It was a lot of fun.
It was. And we got to meet people that actually follow the site, which was really cool.
Quite a few.
Yeah. You know, it's always a wonderful and humbling experience when people come up and say, oh, I follow you guys or whatever.
It was cool because a lot of them were vendors. Actually, other vendors who knew.
Yeah, it was weird because they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize you guys were going to be here. So it was really nice to be able to see people and meet new people that follow the site. And
one lady walked up my booth, goes, I just downloaded your radio app.
Yes, she did. She's like, I just downloaded your radio app like yesterday, and here you guys are. And so we're like, well, thank you. And,
but then she put out that we were there over the weekend, put something on Instagram. Somebody's like, how did I miss you guys there?
Yeah, you know, or it's so funny because that Captain Marvel shirt that I bought from another vendor.
Before it even opened on Saturday, she bought this.
Yeah, so I'm like, I have to have that. So I Instagrammed it, and I saw other people wearing the shirt. And one girl had come to the booth, and she had the shirt on, and I was wearing the same shirt. And I was like, oh, I love your shirt. She goes, I saw it on your Instagram when I went and hunted it down. And I had to come and show you. So it was really cool. Because
she was real sweet. She was
really, really nice. Her boyfriend that was there was
he was one of the mercs. Yeah, he was one of the mercs for the
bounty hunters.
Bounty hunters. There's a big group that goes to these down there, and he was one of them. Walking around, which was funny because she brought him back to the booth later to buy some stuff. And she'd be like, what do you think? And he no motion. You couldn't see his face.
He has to shake his head. Will you take that mask off? I don't know what you're talking about. So I was going to go back to the lady who I got the shirt from on Saturday and be like, you're welcome, just to be funny. But yeah, so she sold out of those shirts because I Instagrammed it.
And then we found another booth that had a Mickey Mouse Loungefly backpack that Michelle had wanted. We had never seen it before. It was like a fuchsia. Would that be the right color? Kind of like the
That's
ears.
A pretty good word.
It was the Mickey.
No, that's purple.
Is that purple?
It was like a hot pink.
But it had the mouse ear Loungefly backpack on it, and they had the wallet, and they had it, and we talked to the guy. He said only 2 vendors in the entire world had gotten these purses, and then they sold them to a few of their little vendors. But he said it's very rare, so Michelle was able to get that because that was his last one.
Yeah. So it looks just like the purple and the rose gold, like glitter backpacks and wallets, except it's like a hot pink. So I had to have it.
So I'm going to put that on eBay when we get done with this show.
We don't have an eBay. We should.
We will after I close the show.
Okay, so, but yeah, so we really appreciated everybody who came out to see us at Huntsville. What?
So, Saturday, walking around Huntsville's little shindig there. And I'm talking to my friend Jamie, who she was there for Magic City Con because they help each other. It's a big family effort. She helps Jeremy helps her, Mike Ensley helps them both. I mean, they're just a great group of people. And she comes up to me and she goes, Scott, can you moderate a panel for me? And I'm like, I've never moderated a panel in my life. I've been in a couple, but I've never moderated one. I didn't even know what I had to do exactly. So she's like, well, I'll go talk to Jeremy, and then I'll come back and we'll talk to you if we need you. I was like, okay. 2 minutes later, Jeremy walks into our booth. He goes, hey, bud, I need a favor. And my first words, I've never done a panel before. I've never moderated a panel before. He goes, well, you'll do fine at it. You're going to do the Lou Ferrigno panel in like 12 minutes. So, come to find out, if you don't know who Lou Ferrigno is the original Incredible Hulk from the television show of the 70s. He was also on King of Queens. He's been many
around.
things over his career. Well, he was one of the big guests this weekend, had a line that wrapped around the building at times himself. But he is 80% deaf, so he has a really hard time hearing when people are talking. If they're in a microphone, if they're quiet, he still can't make out the words. He can read lips, but he can't sometimes. So he needs somebody sitting next to him who can relay the questions if he doesn't hear it. That's where I came in. So if you've seen the pictures that Michelle shared them, I was sitting next to Lou Ferrigno on the stage with about probably 250 people in a room that were asking him questions. It was honestly, I was scared to death to do it. Michelle knows this. I was frightened because it's like I'm doing it for somebody I watched on TV as a kid, and it was crazy to think I'm going to be sitting next to him on stage. People are going to be staring at him, seeing me. I'm going to be in photos of people. It was just like kind of crazy to think about it all.
Oh, you took it a step further.
It was
like
crazy.
Photos of people. Yeah, and he was like, he looked at me before he went out there. He goes,
I'm
scared. I've never done it.
I didn't even have time to run to the bathroom.
No, I was like, you're doing it. If I have to put my foot on you and push you out, you're doing it. Because I knew that he could, and I knew that if he said no, that he'd regret it afterwards.
Yeah, I would have.
And I'm like, no, you got to take this opportunity while you can and just run with it. Just run with it.
Yep.
And he got back, and he was like, oh, I was so nervous, but he was so glad that he did it.
I was glad to do it. I told Jeremy and Jamie that if they ever need me to do anything like that again, I'd be more than happy because now I kind of know what goes into it.
You needed to be broken in.
I need to be broken in, and to be broken in with Lou Ferrigno in a packed room, kind of crazy, but it was awesome, and it was just funny because I'm sitting next to him the whole time, and he'd be answering the question, then he kind of stares at me and talks to me for a second, and then he answers the crowd. Or like if he at one point he went to grab me, and it was like just kind of weird that it's like I'm standing next to him. His muscles are as big as my thigh, and it was so much fun. It was so great.
And he really is big. When he shook my hand, and his whole hand, like my hand disappeared.
And what the best part is I met him as I got to the room. He was standing outside with Jamie. And Jamie goes, Lou, this is Scott. He's going to be your moderator. He looked at me and goes, you're going to moderate? I said, yeah. He shook my hand. He goes, okay, lead me into the room. And that was it. That was how much I met him. So walked him into the room, walked him up to the table. He came in. He did his little bio type thing before that. We took about 25 minutes worth of questions. And then he told everybody to come to the booth and see him afterwards. And so we got back to the table. And that's when I grabbed, orange bird almost flew. That's when I grabbed my pop that I had and took it over to him. And told him, I said, thank you for allowing me to help with the panel, with your moderating your panel. And he signed my Funko Pop to Scott, Lou Ferrigno, and then he put Hulk on the bottom. And it's an experience I'll never forget. As a lifelong Marvel fan, it is probably one of the greatest things I've ever had happen to me. So I'm truly humbled that I even got to do that. It was the emotions were running high. That whole day, nothing could bring me down. I swear, my car could have blown up. I probably would have been fine because I was just so excited that day.
I don't know about that.
No, I would have been because I would have called Lou to take us home.
Hey Lou, can you give us?
Hey Lou, if you can give me a ride home, I'd appreciate that. So, but yeah, we went over after Michelle met him, and then I got my pop
The
sign.
thing is, we met him 3 years ago. Or 4 years ago,
something
he
like
was at one of the conventions we did, and we talked to him, and I got pictures of him. He would not remember us from that many years ago.
I brought it up to him, but there's no way
he's not
on
going to
earth.
remember us because he meets all kinds of people because
Right.
that's what he does now. I don't think he's acting right now. He's just doing the circuit for different conventions.
His son, Lou Ferrigno Jr., is actually on the show SWAT. He's one of the stars of that show. And if you see him, he looks just like his dad, a younger version of his dad. Almost his little twin, his mini me.
And you know what's funny? You know what's really funny is at this convention, we stayed at the Embassy Suites that was attached, and
which is a really nice hotel.
Really
Embassy
nice.
Suites, really nice.
Embassy Suites Huntsville has free breakfast in the morning,
which is really, and some of it's made to order breakfast.
And then at night they have a manager's reception, as they call it, where you get free snacks and drinks for 2 hours, which is a little dangerous. I found that out on Saturday. But it was
because they were pouring her like double drinks, like double shots, and she didn't even realize it. And you can go back up. You can get 2 drinks every time you go up there for free.
Yeah, rough. But anyway, so that was a really, really good hotel. But it's so weird because, like, you know, like the next day, because the celebrities are staying there too. And it's so funny. I had tears in my eyes because my older son, Andrew, I'm over there trying to get something to drink, and he's like, Mom, Lou Ferrigno's eating breakfast behind us. And I look up, and lo and behold, there's Lou Ferrigno eating breakfast right behind us. So it was just weird. And then
I saw Jim Duggan was sitting 2 tables over.
Yeah, and then saw Jim Duggan was like 2 tables over from us. And it was just weird to be there with these people, and you don't want to bother them. And then on the bothering front, I had said later that day, I was like, you know what, do these people, like, if they're celebrities, do they not want to be bothered? Like, you don't want anyone to go interrupt their breakfast. Or, like, if you see somebody, like, at a park or wherever, and you're like, I wonder if that's so-and-so. And, like, you don't want to ask, but you stare or whatever. So it was funny to me, like, you could tell Lou Ferrigno kind of didn't want to be bothered when he was eating his breakfast. But he was wearing a shirt that said Ferrigno on it. So there was no mistaking, like, if somebody were to say, is that him? Oh, it's him, because his name is on his shirt.
And what's funny is he is very regimented. He has to work out still every day. He has his breakfast specially made for what he eats in it. He actually, and I didn't know this, he's a 15-year sheriff's deputy to this point. I can't remember what city, but they actually swore him in Huntsville as a
like an
honorary sheriff's deputy that weekend while he was there, which was kind of cool that they did that. So he really helped Jeremy with a lot of pressers to get the name out.
Yeah, and I think it helped get a lot of business. So,
yeah.
But anyway, it was a really fun weekend. I hope you guys watched on our Insta stories and stuff because we had a good time.
And next year is going to be in April, the week after Easter. So if you're in the Huntsville area, or if you just want to go to a great con and have a lot of fun, plan on going to Huntsville if you can make it.
Yeah, we'll put all the information. But before we go this evening, we want to talk about another convention that we're working.
What?
Not this weekend coming up, but next weekend.
You mean that? That's going to be up on the screen in a second?
Oh, you did. Good for you. We are working Spooky Empire, which is we've worked it before. It's got actors, and it's about movies and pop culture and all these fun things. And the Main Street Mouse will be there. I will have my books. We will probably have some Haunted Mansion stuff and little things from Lost Princess Apparel. So please come and check us out at Spooky Empire. We will be there all weekend long. It is a great show. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it really is a great show. They've got a great group of guests this year. They're having a mini Addams Family movie reunion. So you're gonna have Christopher Lloyd, Christina Ricci, the guy who played Pugsley, and the guy who
never remember his name.
Can't remember, and also the one who played Lurch. Those 4 are gonna be there. They're having an E.T. reunion, and actually, the 12-year-old who actually was in the E.T. costume at some point, it's this man, I can't remember his name offhand, but he has no he was born without legs. So he actually walked on his hands, but he was actually in the E.T. costume in certain scenes. He's going to be there now as an adult. Dee Wallace, who was the mom who was also in Cujo, she's going to be there. There's an E.T. reunion, a Cujo reunion, Addams Family reunion.
If you go to Spooky Empire's website, you'll find all the media guests and all the activities that are going on. And this is a great convention for merchandise as well.
It really is.
And it's not just scary stuff. It's like pop culture. It's all kinds of fun stuff. So Spooky Empire, we will be there next weekend.
And a couple of our favorite booth friends, I guess you could call them, are there that we get to work. So like Luna Moon is there, 13X Studios is there, Drax 9 is going to be there. So if you know any of those names, or they're going to be set up there. It really is. It's a fun con. You would really enjoy going to it. It's at the Wyndham Orlando. Is that what it is?
It's on iDrive.
It's on iDrive.
It's down like where the Orlando Eye is, and that big swing thing, the Death Swing. It's next to it. It's in that same area.
But they're going to do some great stuff, though. They have parties at nighttime. They have a clown march or something this year. Usually they do a zombie thing through the streets, but this year it's a clown march of the scary clowns through the streets. They have the person who played Swamp Thing is going to be there, the actor, but they have a group that is like Swamp Thing is their guitar player and singer who's going to be up there performing at 7 o'clock both nights. It's a really fun convention. So if you're in the area, please come out and check us out. Find our booth. Like Michelle said, she'll have her books. We'll have some TMSM swag. We'll also have Lost Princess Apparel clothing on hand.
Yes. And Heather wants to know if we'll be at D23 Expo this year.
Yes,
Indeed, we will. We've already bought our airline tickets and everything.
She's flying.
I'm flying. I'm not happy about it, but I'm flying. Yes,
Michelle, we need you to watch Fat Boy.
Yeah, we're going to be at D23 this summer in August. Woo,
Yep.
woo.
So we'll be out there we'll be out there actually the week before. So we're gonna, as it gets closer, we're gonna talk about possibly doing a Disneyland or California Adventures meetup.
We're going to figure something out.
I think it'd be really cool to do a Main Street Mouse meetup on the original Main Street USA.
How fun would that be?
The one that Walt actually walked on. I think that would just be awesome.
That would be fun.
So maybe we'll do that if people would want to come.
If you want to come.
If you don't want to come,
if you Disneyland people would, I would love to do that. So.
Oh, thanks, Shane. He said we were so nice last week, even though we were on time.
Oh,
we
gosh,
were
it
stunk.
was really nice to meet you, Shane. And like I said to you last week, we appreciate the support.
And if you see us again, stop us. He said he doesn't stop us.
I know. If you guys see us in the parks, we are just like this. I mean, we'll talk your ear off for a while.
We might be hot sweating my head a little bit, but we'll talk. We have no problem unless we got to run like we did last week. We were in the back. We were, I think, near Japan.
We had to go.
Had to get the
We
rest of the
barely
way
made
to
it
get
to school to get the kids.
Actually, I think we were like 5 minutes late. They're fine.
Okay. Really? We're fine. They know we're coming. Okay, before we go, Cindy Simmons left us this $25 gift card.
So we're going out to breakfast tomorrow morning. Thanks, Cindy Simmons. No, I'm just joking.
So Cindy is awesome. We had a great time with her. She really enjoyed doing the show, and she was kind enough to leave a gift card for us for one of our watchers.
Who wants it? You can't win now.
And the winner is Lily John.
Lily, you won.
You win $25 to Disney or Disney Store or Disney wherever you can use it.
Or if you just want to put it away for your next trip.
Or you want to put it away. So Lily, please send me your address and we will get this out to you. So, I guess that's it for this week.
One thing I did want to mention, Lost Princess Apparel does have some new items. If you're interested, go check it out.
Oh, yeah, I didn't bring them over here. But no. we have Spaceship Earth themed dresses and leggings.
Yes.
That are available for order. I am putting out a picture tonight. We have Jasmine leggings, which is perfect for the...
Kevin wants to meet us.
Maybe,
yes, for the Aladdin movie coming up.
Aladdin... there's some
stuff coming that's not even available for pre-order yet, but you guys are going to like it.
Bell. But there's more stuff coming, so please check it out, lostprincessapparel.com.
If you go to pre-sale tab, click down, there's a March pre-sale and an April pre-sale. The March pre-sale is shipping later this week. The April one ships April 10th. Scroll through, see if there's any items you want. And if there's any questions you have or anything like that, just feel free to message us.
Let us know. So thank you for letting us being okay with us being on Tuesday instead of Monday. We didn't get home till later last night. We will be back regular time next week, Monday.
Next Monday. Yes? I will be here next Monday, but not the Monday after.
Is that when?
Yes, the 25th. I will not be here. We have a special guest who's going to be sitting right here. Should I tell him?
Well, what if he backs out?
Well, if he backs out, we'll give him another show, but he said he can't wait to do it.
Okay, go ahead. Let's go.
Well... He's known as DJ Elliott. That's all I'll say. If you know who he is, he's George Lucas's DJ. He does Star Wars celebrations.
Galactic Nights. He did Frozen.
Frozen Summer. He was DJ Chill. He was DJ Lobot at Star Wars stuff for Star Wars weekends and such.
DJ Elliott.
Next week or in 2 weeks, DJ Elliott will be sitting in my seat talking to Michelle for however long they decide to talk. Two people who love music, that could be a long show.
Could be, but in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. The 25th, DJ Elliott will be here, so we will, of course, tell you more about that next week.
Yes. So, I guess that's it.
That's it? We're done? So let me go ahead and put our social media stuff up here so you can find us. Let me make sure I have the right one, because we did change one of our social media.
We keep messing stuff around.
Yes, we actually now, you can find us at The Main Street Mouse on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So those 3 platforms all use the same at The Main Street Mouse. On Twitter, you can follow us at Main Street Mouse. Forget the because it won't work for you on there.
But everything else is The Main Street Mouse.
The Main Street Mouse.
Really easy and convenient. And tomorrow morning at 7:53 and 8:10, you can listen to me on 96.5 WDBO in Orlando. You can download that app as well.
Yes. Also, you can follow Michelle or myself on Instagram you can follow Michelle at Michelle M. Atwood. That's Michelle with 1 L. Or you can follow myself, TMSM Avenger, on Instagram. Follow us. Michelle is always updating. I'm a little bit slow about it, but I try to do it when I can. Also, one more thing I just want to mention, TMSM Radio is still out there. People are still downloading and people are still loving it. So,
yes.
Please go out there. It's sponsored by Kingdom Strollers. Our friends over there sponsor us having this radio station. So go to your Apple App Store or your Google Play Store, search TMSM Radio, and you'll be able to install that on your smart device and listen. There's also a way to listen through your browser on your desktop or laptop on the Main Street Mouse website.
Yes.
So I guess that's all we have for this week.
That is it.
Until next week, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week, and we will see you guys next Monday at 7.
Next Monday at 7. Thank
All
you,
right.
guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Finish.